I think we're on. We welcome you back to Delta Park. One that has popped up, and a quick throw to first is not going to be. We apologize for the technical difficulties. For those of you just joining us now, the 2025 Northwest Prince Championship Tournament, the 4-13 matchup featuring your defending champion Mount Hood Saints against the Treasure Valley Chuckers from Ontario, as we are now on batter number 5 in the lineup. So we take a look here. It is number 7 for Treasure Valley. As look at the lineup here, a quick 1-0 count, and it's Keisha McKean as she takes ball 2 in the dirt. Runners will steal. Throw down is in time. Cotter stealing on third, and they throw her for the third out. And Treasure Valley will leave 2 stranded on base. So we head to the bottom of the first inning. The defending champion get their first cracks at the bat here at.
In the top of the first, there were no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. Fans, this year's NWAC Championship broadcasts are powered by Huddle and produced by Productions. Watch championship games live and on the NWAC Sports Network at NWAC Sports Network.
So we take a look here, bottom of the first here on field number 2. It'll be the center fielder, Mia Zachary, to lead things off for the Saints, followed by Serena Hattori, Madison Walker, Jasmine Brock Miller, Reese Wiseman, Gracie Hodgson, Lily Bravo, Lizzie Brockmiller, I should say, and Gabby Urban. As we take a look at who is in the field for the Treasure Valley Chuckers, on the mound is number 15, Articade Flugger. Plate is number 14, Janelle Zapata. On number 20, Cambry Beck. On second is number 3, Imaya Luna. On third is number 8, Kalea Thompson. And at short is number 7, Keisha McKean, as the first pitch there is taken high for ball 1. Number 12 is Mia Zachary as she dribbles that one to second. A quick throw to first is there in time for out number 1. So after a quick 2 pitch, the ground out from Mia Zachary to second base. And there's one away here in the bottom of the first. That brings up Serena. She takes a ball on the outside. Count quickly goes to 1-0. So one away here in the bottom of the first here. Field 2, Delta Park. 4 versus 13 matchup. Defending champion Mount Hood starting their road back to the championship as taken upstairs against Hattori. And the count goes to 2-0. 2-0 pitch coming to the plate is just a bit high, and it's 3-0. So we got 3 balls, and as the pitch is up high and a 4-pitch here to Hattori, we'll get the lead, or we'll get the second runner on, and the first base runner for the Saints here this afternoon, Madison Walker, will step up to the plate. Of course, Madison Walker was a big part of that championship game last year, that 3-run home run that helped them win it 8-5. The throw down to second is not going to be made there in time, and stealing second safely is Serena Hattori. So only one away still here in the bottom of the first. The pitch against Walker was a ball. 1-0 the count. as Walker will lift that one foul behind the plate. And the count is 0-2. First pitch was corrected to a strike. And it's 0-2 on Madison Walker as she swings and pops that one into the netting. And the count remains 0-2. Walker patiently awaits the next pitch. The 0-2 coming to the plate is up high. And thought about stealing third was Hattori, but will stay put. So the Saints have the opening run of the game just 2 bases away. Walker will pop that one over the left field wall and way into foul territory, and the count stays at 1-2. So 1-2 here on Madison. The pitch, swing and a miss. A big strikeout there for the Chuckers. 2 away here in the bottom of the first. Madison Walker will strike out for out number 2. That'll bring up Jasmine Lara, second base player. First pitch to her, in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. No balls and a strike. Other tournament games and potentially score chance as that one is popped into center field and into the glove there at center field. Making the catch, or coming on to make the catch, is number 12, Trisha Langston. So after 1, the Saints do leave 1 runner on. They don't get anybody in as we head to the second list here from Delta Park in game number 5 of this championship softball tournament. So leading off here in the bottom half of this, or in the top half, I should say, in the second inning, as we take a look here, is number 20, is Cambry Beck. Again, they had that pickoff play in the top half of the first inning, which ended the half inning, but now Beck gets to return to the plate with a fresh count. She takes ball 1 down low, and the count quickly to 1-0. So here as the pitch is fired in, and that one swung on and hit deep into left field, but way foul, and the count 1-1. So that'll even the count at a ball and a strike as she stepped out of the batter's box, and now will step back in. We get to the fielders here for the Mount Hood Saints. Gabby Urban, number 13, is pitching on the mound as she fires a 1-1 down low, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Izzy Brockmiller is catching behind the plate as we take a look at the infield as well. Gracie Hodgson wearing number 19. Madison Walker wears number 33. She is playing again as that one is taken low, and the count 3-1. Third base is number 26, Jasmine Lara. And shortstop, as we take a look, is Lizzie Brockmiller, who is wearing number 44. To the plate here is popped up and foul and might get onto the other. That's field number 3, Delta Park. The umpire will make his way over to get a new ball. And the count now full here on Beck. Still no score in the opening game for both. Game number 5 here in the tournament with an afternoon start. That one fielded at short. The throw to first is there. Beats her by a split second. And there's one out away here in the top of the second.
To the plate, number 8.
And now as we take a look, number 8, Kalea Thompson, with one away here in the top of the second. As she patiently awaits the pitch coming from Gabby Urban, and it's in there for a called strike. And the count 0-1. Struggling was Brockmiller at shortstop to field that ball, but she was able to keep it trapped and throw it over time for that first out. 0-1 pitch here coming to Thompson, and swing and a miss. It's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, a quick 0-2 hole here against Thompson. Strikeout would be key here for Urban, would get that second out. As she fires the 0-2, swing and a miss. Another could not get that one, and there's 2 down. The outfield for the Saints, as we take a look at the remainder of the lineup, Serena Hattori wears number 7. She is in left. In center is number 12, Mia Zachary, and in right is number 3, Reese Wiseman. So 2 outs here is the first taken for ball number 1 here. Number 7 in the lineup, and that's Trisha Langston. She tries to keep the 2-out rally alive here. For coming to the plate is popped up into foul territory and making Hodgson as she nearly stumbled over her teammate, and I believe she did, as Madison Walker is slow to get up over there down the first base line, but she's comforted by her teammates, and she makes her way back to the dugout, as do the Mount Hood Saints here. 6 outs down and an inning and a half through here on field number 2 at Delta Park. Scoreless between the Saints and the Chuckers.
NWAC fans, be sure to check out the NWAC on Facebook, X, and Instagram using the handle @NWAC.
So as we take a look,
Also visit NWAC Sports.
leading off for the Saints, Lizzie Brockmiller, or Izzy Brockmiller, I should say. She'll be followed by Reese Wiseman, Gracie Hodgson, Lily Bravo, and then her sister. And that will round out the order. Saints, of course, led by their head coach, Brittany Hendrickson, assistants Taylor Gould, Kayla Gron, Ryan Snowadsky. For Treasure Valley, we take a look at their coaching staff, and we take a look at some of the statistics for games. Head coach Gordy Agawa and assistant coaches Brianne Wadley and Jenna Agawa. So here is Izzy Brockmiller, pops one into just foul down the third base line. So we'll go to 0-1. And we're hoping that the connection here at Delta Park isn't as spotty. It's running off the same feed as last year, so it's probably going to sound relatively similar. But we thank you for sticking with us regardless. For those of you that are to listen to the Mount Hood Saints broadcast, says that one taken up for ball 1 on Brockmiller. So that'll even the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Leadoff batter here for Mount Hood in the bottom of the second, and she takes the 1-1 in for another called strike, and it's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Miller. Pitch coming to the plate here. It's up high. That'll even the count at 2. Saw that one from pretty good distance. Brockmiller gets back in her set, and the 2-2 is inside, and the count full. And on the mound was in disbelief, couldn't believe the ball. Nonetheless, it was. And here on Izzy Brockmiller, 3-2 pitch is popped up and foul. It'll get out of play. So the count remains full. Following Brockmiller is Reese Wiseman. She waits patiently in the on-deck area by the Mount Hood dugout. They are occupying the side as the higher seed in this game, as the is popped up and out of play once again. And so the umpire again will make his way over to get another ball, as with help from the dog there, as the dog is helping him shag balls. As they have another ball thrown to the mound, as Brockmiller has stepped out of the batter's box but steps back in. Still facing a 3-2. Leadoff batter in 3-2 to Brockmiller is down in the dirt, and that is a leadoff for the Mount Hood Saints. So Brockmiller will take first on the leadoff walk, as that'll bring up Reese Wiseman, the right fielder. Wiseman this season, as we take a look here, his first pitch to her is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. She has 32 hits this season, 8 of which are doubles. She has 20 flies. As the 0-1 is inside, but called for a called strike 2. And quickly in the hole is Wiseman. It's 0-2. Batter Brockmiller is aboard. The pitch is dribbled out into left field. That's going to get over the third base player glove and into left field for a base hit. So that'll put runners on first and second for the Mount Hood Saints, with nobody out here in the top half or in the bottom half of the second. So now it is been with this team for a few years now. Batting lefty here. Runners on first and second. First pitch shows bunt, and she pops that one foul. And the count 0-1. So Brockmiller is the runner on second. Wiseman is the runner on first. One here on Gracie Hodgson. She awaits the pitch. One going to be fired in here, and that one pulled back as she showed bunt again. That one high and away. Evens the count at 1-1. Steps back in. 1 ball, 1 strike against Hodgson. The pitch is in center field, a base hit. That's going to score a run. As coming to score is Brockmiller, and Mount Hood has broken the ice. They lead at 1-0 here in the second. RBI single for Gracie Hodgson, and an early 1-0 lead for the Mount Hood Saints. So now it is with runners again on first and second. Early 1-0 advantage for the Saints. Pitch up high, just missing the zone, and the count 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes here against Bravo. And for that is going to be popped into left center. That one drops for a base hit. A couple more runs are going to come in, as scoring is Wiseman. Wiseman to score. Hodgson will go to third. It's an RBI double there for Lily Bravo, and a 2-0 lead for the Saints. So now the last batter in the lineup, Lizzie Brockmiller, the sister of Izzy. 2 runs have come in in the bottom of the second. Still nobody out, as they have a quick meeting on the mound, and it does not appear like we are going to get a pitching change, and indeed, actually, we are. It's going to be a new pitcher on the mound for Treasure Valley. So after giving up quick two, it's going to be number 17, Kaylee, pitching on the mound for the Chuckers. So a quick change made there as we have a little bit of time here as we take a look at the championship bracket. Again, this is game number 5, the 4 versus 13 matchup. The winner of this one will get the winner of game 6, and that game is currently being played over on field number 4, which is the main field. The 5 matchup between the Knights of Wenatchee Valley and the Chemeketa Storm. So the winner of that one will get the winner of this one, and the loser of that one will get the loser of this one as well. Second game for both of these teams. It doesn't matter who wins or loses. Both teams will play again at 6 o'clock tonight, pending the weather. It's raining here this afternoon. We hope that it doesn't affect the schedule too much, but we will be sure to keep you updated on anything that might happen because of the weather. You can never trust it here in the Portland area. First pitch there on Brockmiller is taken for a called strike, so now it's 0-1. The Mount Saints won the tournament last year as the number 2 seed. They come in as the 4 seed. Teams ahead of them: Southwest Oregon, Columbia Basin, and Lower Columbia. Lower Columbia, the number 1 overall seed. The Hawks of Columbia Basin, the number 2 seed. Southwest Oregon Lakers, the number 3 seed. As the pitch there floated, and they cannot get the out. Coming in to score is Hodge. Catch him in the pickle and a throw away. Oh, what a wild here. The throw to third is not going to be there in time. A couple of fielding errors for the Chuckers. 2 more runs will come in, and the Saints take a 4-0 lead. It was a beautiful bunt there from Brockmiller. Pitcher fielded it right away, and instead of going to first, she flipped it to home, but flipped it too high, allowing a run to come in. They tried to pick her up at second. Go back home, seeing as another Mount Hood runner was coming home. That throw was too high, and it allows Brockmiller to get all the way to third. So it ends up being a triple on an error as the leadoff batter, Mia Zachary, comes back to the plate, and as I've been talking, she's already faced 2 balls, and the count 2-0. So it's a 4-0 lead for the Mount Hood Saints now. Is swung on and missed, 2-1. That was just a crazy sequence, and just a poor defensive effort there from the Chuckers. And the Saints get 2 more runs out of that. They lead at 4-0 as that one is popped foul into the netting. And that will already even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So it turns into a triple on an error, Miller. And there's so many people you could charge with the error. We'll see what the official scoring is after the game. Low, and the count now full here on Mia Zachary. In the first inning, she grounded out to second, so not much here as she takes ball 4 up high. And a walk issued there. Still nobody out, so now runners on the corners for the Saints. Lizzie Brockmiller is on third. Mia Zachary is on. Serena Hattori will come back to the plate. She was back in the first and got the second and did not do much further than that as the pitch there shows bunt but pulls back. It's low and the count 1-0. So Hattori with a 1-0 count. Saints with a lead here in the second. The pitch is just a bit high, and that's ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes now on Serena Hattori. Sprinkles start to make their way down here on field 2. As that one goes into center field, it's going to be a base hit. Coming into scores, Brockmiller, adding to the Mount Hood Saint lead. It's 5-0 here in the second. for the Saints. An RBI single there for Serena Hattori. Mia Zachary will go to second. She will not advance any further than that, as that'll bring back up Madison Walker. Strike. She looks to redeem herself here in the second. Pitch to her is dribbled foul down the third base side, and it's 0-1. So no balls and one strike. As the catcher made her way to field that ball. So 0-1 here on Walker. The pitch coming with 2-1 and no there, but just a bit away. Evens the count at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Walker ready, and she lifts that center field and into the glove there. Runners will tag. Just one runner actually will tag, and it was Mia Zachary who will take third. And making the catch there out in center field is Trisha Langston, as that will bring up Jasmine Lara. Lara flew out to center in the second. She's the last batter before the Saints bat through the lineup here. The throw down to second is not going to get there in time. So stealing second safely is Serena Hattori. So runners in scoring position for the Saints. Nobody, or one out, I should say. The second, Saints with a 5-0 lead. Pitch there is lifted into right, and it drops. And coming in to score here is Zachary, and going to third is Hattori, an RBI single for Jasmine Lara, and that'll make it 6-0 Saints. So the after being shut down in the first, have opened things up in the second. 6 runs have come in as we come off to the leadoff batter again. It was Izzy Brockmiller who started this inning. She's up for the second. Pops that one into short center, and that one's going to drop for a base hit. Coming in to score here is Hattori, and it's now 7-0 Saints. An RBI single for Brockmiller, who started the inning with a walk. And 7-0 now as that brings up Reese Wiseman. As the pitch there is just in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Runners on first and second. As Jasmine Lara, the runner on second. Brockmiller, the runner on first, as the pitch there is taken. And that'll even the count at 1-1. Treasure Valley defense just trying to get out of this inning. Giving up 7 runs so far. Ball 2 is in the dirt and inside, and that will make the count 2-1. Saints lead it. Pitch in there for a called strike, and it's 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now against Wiseman. As she pops that one into foul territory, just right at the first base line. So the runners will go back to their respective bases. First and second with 1 out. Out of the batter's box, and now we'll step back in. As the 2-2 coming to the plate is popped into right field, and popping out of the glove at right field, and everyone's going to be safe here. And now trying to come in to score, and scoring is Jasmine Lara. And as she made the effort and the hustle to get in after a fielding errors by the Chucker defense, and it's an 8-0 Mount Hood lead. So it popped out of the glove of the second base player, and that's number 3, Luna. as now the Treasure Valley infield going to have a meeting at the mound with one another. Gracie Hodgson will come back to the plate at a single earlier in this inning. She was the third batter in this second inning. The Saints have really started to up here after not getting anything in the first. They have gotten 8 so far in the second. And for the Saints defense, they have done a relatively good job of holding the Treasure Valley offense as well. As Hodgson pops that one into left field, and that one's going to drop foul. 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike is the count here against Hodgson. She steps back into the batter's box with runners on first and second. Pitch coming to the plate there is outside, and that'll even the count at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners look to advance as Hodgson dribbles that one to third. Stepped on the bag, throw to first. There, and a double play to end the inning. So that is something that Treasure Valley's defense absolutely will take. Something that maybe they didn't necessarily need, but yes, they did need it with 1 out here in the second, rendering 8 runs. So we head to the top of the third. After 2, it's Mount Hood 8 and Treasure Valley nothing here on field 2 at Delta Park. We take a look at some of the other games going here at Delta Park. Earlier today, we do not have the results quite yet. We'll take a look at the results when we have a moment. But the first game of the day was Columbia Basin Hawks. They took on the Olympic Rangers, the 5th seed. That was followed by Walla Walla, the number 7 seed, taking on the 10 seed Bellevue Bulldogs. And a couple other games at 10 o'clock this morning. Number 6 Everett, the Trojans, taking on the Yaks of Yakima Valley. And number 3, the Southwest Oregon Lakers, taking on the Centers. The 14 seed, again, we have this one. The winner of this one gets the winner of Wenatchee Valley and Chemeketa. That one currently going on over on field number 4. We also have 2 other games in progress right now on fields 5 and 3. The 8-9 matchup, the Edmonds Tritons against the Clackamas Cougars, and the number 1 overall seed, the Lower Columbia, they are taking on the number 16 seed Clark Penguins. And again, more games to come later. The winners of the games earlier today will play at 4 o'clock, and then the winners of these games will play closer to 6:30. The first pitch is going to be popped up and foul, and that will make the count 0-1 here again. The leadoff batter here for the Chuckers. Amaya Luna with the 0-1. Just low and inside, evens the count at 1 apiece. The Mount Hood Saints so far have only allowed 1 hit from this Treasure Valley offense, and that was back in the first by Zapata. That one popped into short center. Brock Miller's on, and she's got it for out number 1. Or correction, that is Zachary out in center field. So now taking the bat for the Chuckers is number 9, is Myers. Her first pitch lifted foul down the first base line, and trying to make the play there at first was Gracie Hodgson. Just not quite able to reach out and make the catch, but no damage done as it was in foul territory. And the count 0-1. A little bit of a delay here getting the ball down, but it's back there now, and the 0-1 coming against Myers is just outside. Brock Miller tried her absolute best to frame that one, but to no success to our 1 ball and 1 strike, the count even. 1-1 pitch, popped out of play, foul, and it's 1-2. The Northwest Athletic Conference rules, the 8-run Mount Hood had allotted in the second. If the result holds after the 5th inning, that would be the end of the game. I'm not sure if it's 8 runs or if it might for this game to be completed after 5, but of course Valley does have the opportunity in the next couple of innings to score a couple of runs and make that a moot point. The count even at 2-2 after a ball was taken way up high, and the 2 here coming to the plate is going to be popped up and into the netting, foul. And the count remains 2-2 here on Myers. Leadoff batter is on deck. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count here on Myers. As the pitch ready to be fired in there, as swing and a miss. Swing and a miss there. Out number 2, struck her out. And it's only the second, or it's the 3rd strikeout of the day for Gabby Urban. As the 2-out runner will come to the plate here, as it is number 1, the leadoff batter, Alexa Rice. He takes ball 1 outside, and the count 1-0. Stepping back into the batter's box. 1-0 pitch. Pop. It's 1-1. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike here on Rice. 2 down here in the Saints with the advantage. Is that one for a called strike, and it's 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes quickly the count here on Rice. If we do have another batter, it would be Ashlyn Crone. But with 2 outs, the looking to shut the checkers down. Is that one fielded to Walker? Mishandled it, but able to field it back and get it to first over to Hodgson in time to retire the side. So no runs there for the Chuckers as bottom half of the 3rd inning. The Mount Hood Saints will come back to the plate still with an 8-0 advantage here on field number 2 at Delta Park.
Since 1910, Toledo is a provider of ticketing solutions that are efficient and keep businesses.
So we take a look here. Leading off for the Mount Hood Saints will be Lily Bravo, followed by Lizzie Brockmiller. Then the top of the lineup with Mia Zachary, Serena Hattori, Madison Walker, Jasmine Lara. Just to name, as the sprinkles start to come down a little bit more frequently. Rain was forecasted, but not until the earlier afternoon. For another 2 hours or so, it was forecasted around 3 o'clock, and some big rain come in at around 5, and both these teams will play again an hour and a half after that at 6:30. Depending on the weather, might have to reschedule those or play them in the monsoon, as the first pitch to Lily Bravo is high and away, taken for ball 1. 1-0 here quickly on Lily Bravo. Pitch there is dribbled to short, and it's going to get through into center for a base hit. And Bravo first and do not much more there. A leadoff single there, Bravo. And the base runner is aboard for the Saints. That'll bring up Lizzie Brockmiller. As we take a look here at some statistics, starting with number 5, Lily Bravo. She had 36 hits and 28 RBIs. And for Lizzie Brockmiller, can they turn a double? Oh, and that is in time. Double play there, and 2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd. Was just about to say that Lizzie Brockmiller has 18 hits, 17 RBIs. So back to Zachary, the top of the lineup, as she dribbles that one to third into the glove. A quick 3 outs here for their Treasure Valley defense. So the Saints go 1, 2, 3. It ends up being a double play and then a single ground out to end the inning. At the end of 3, it's still the Mount 8-0 lead over the Treasure Valley Chuckers. Back with the 4th here from a moment. Taking a look at the bracket as we have a chance. Again, not certain who won the earlier games today, but we are going to be taking a look at the bracket here once we have it up. Again, 4 games earlier today, part of the NY softball tournament, and it was an upset. The number 15 Olympic Rangers defeated the number 2 seed Columbia Basin Hawks by a final of 4-3. Number 7 Walla Walla got a 10-5 win against number 10 Bellevue. Number 6 Everett defeated number 11 Yakima Valley, and another upset as number 3 Southwest Oregon went down in Centralia by a final of 5-3. So all full of upsets here in this championship tournament. The first pitch there was taken for a called strike, and that one is up high, evens the count at 1-1 here against Crone. So we look here. Ashlyn Crone, the leadoff batter here for the Chuckers here in the top of the 4th. The up high for ball 2, and the count quickly 2-1. It's the bottom of the 2nd right now. Number 9 Clackamas leads number 8 Edmonds by a score of 6-3. Lower Columbia, the number 1 overall seed, leads Clark 10-0. And that one is in the bottom of the 2nd as well. That one popped foul, evening the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And number 12 has a 1-0 lead over Wenatchee Valley, 5 seed. That one is in the bottom of the 3rd. So a couple of upsets earlier, and some upsets might be brewing, but none here as the number 4 Mount Hood Saints lead 13 Treasure Valley by a score of 8-0, and the count goes full here on Ashlyn Crone. Three balls and 2 strikes. The pitch there is up high for ball 4, and it'll be a leadoff walk to start the 4th for the Treasure Valley offense. So that means, taking a look at the matchups, we have the Olympic Rangers going to be taking on Walla Walla, the Warriors. That one is over on at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and Everett is on Centralia over on field 4 at 4 o'clock as well. And we do not have the finals for the later games because they are going on right now. First pitch there to Zapata is taken up high for ball 1. As Janelle Zapata this year with 51, as she has so far for the Chuckers, and that was back in the 1st as she takes ball 2 low and outside, and the count quickly is 2-0. The runner on first off the walk is Ashlyn Crone. Thought about stealing second, but stays there as Brock Miller is able to behind the plate. No pass ball there, and the count quickly 3 on Janelle Zapata. 3-0 pitch with 1 runner on as the pitch is in there for a called strike, and it's 3-1. Couple of teams in this, not in it last year. A couple of teams that were in it last year that are not in it this year. We'll get to information when we have the chance, as that one has popped out of play and foul. And the count full here against Zapata. 3-0, and now facing 2. Nobody out here, top of the 4th. Zapata will show bunt, but with 2 strikes, I'd imagine she swings away, and that one is just a bit low, and Another walk issued. Back-to-back walks there for the Treasure Valley offense. Puts runners on first and second.
The shortstop.
Number 7, the shortstop. And Keisha McLean. Treasure Valley trying to get some runs here in the 4th. The pitch there is popped up into the netting, and that'll make the count 0-1. No balls and strike quickly the count against McKean. Crone, the runner on second. Janelle Zapata, the runner on first. 0-1, swing and a foul, and makes it 0-2. Strikeout here for Gabby Urban would be huge. The first out on a 2-1 and no out situation right now. 0-2. McKean waits the pitch. Swing and a foul back into the netting. One nearly came back and hit the home plate umpire, but just missing him by an inch. So the count remains 0-2. Runners try to take a lead here. Coming to McKean. Urban sets, fires, and that one is low. Ball 1. Was right over the plate, but just a bit low near the ankles. And 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Comes as that one gets into the field. That one's going to be a base hit. And now third, thought about coming in to score, was Crone, but she will stay put. And the bases are loaded for Treasure Valley with nobody out. And all of a sudden, the Chuckers are threatening here in the 4th. So now Izzy Brockmiller will make her way to the pitcher's mound to have a conversation with her pitcher, Gabby Urban. The rest for the Mount Hood Saints is going to come in as well. They're going to have a there as head coach Brittany Hendrickson not going to be out there. It's just going to be a meeting of the infield as the sprinkles here start to get a little bit more constant. Hopefully this game will finish before the heavy stuff in a couple hours or so. Still fortunate enough that this tournament is here in Portland at Delta Park. And here's the first pitch, and that one is taken outside for ball 1. It's number 20, Kimbrel Beck. So bases loaded. 1-0. The pitch in the dirt, 2-0. Two balls and no strikes against Beck. Crone on third, Zapata on second, McKean on first. Urban readies the pitch, and that one is popped foul, and it's 2-1. Chuckers would love the opportunity to here on the board in the 4th inning. Two and 1. Beck patiently awaits the infield ready for the Saints. The pitch is popped into right field, but foul as it gets nearly to the fence. And that will even the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes against Beck. Nobody out. And loaded for the Treasure Valley offense. Beck with a 2-2. Ready to face it from Urban. The 2-2 from the mound is up high. And the count now full. And now it's just a ball away from scoring their first run of the afternoon. 3-2. Beck waits the pitch, swing, and it popped up. And that one will get out of play as it the netting on the first base side. And so the count remains 3-2. As the Saints defense really trying for that first out. Trying to start what would be getting out of a big bases loaded jam. That one popped into foul territory. Hodgson calling for it, and she's got it. Key first out there for the Saints as Gracie Hodgson makes a catch in foul territory, and there's one away. So that'll bring up Thompson. And Calais Thompson, base player, 0 for 1, struck out in the second. Looks to contribute with an RBI as that one is tied for ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. Thompson against Urban. The 1-0 is dribbled foul, and it's 1-1. That one was close to being scoring a couple of runs for Treasure Valley. They still have yet to see any runs on the board here in the top of the fourth. 1-1 pitch is fouled back, and it's 1-2. Strikeout would be big here for both Gabby Urban and the Saints defense. 1-2 pitch on Thompson is up high, 2-2. So 2-2. Thompson to stay alive. Saints trying to get a key second out. 2-2. Swing, ball that is lifted out of the glove at left field. A couple of runs are going to score here for the Chuckers. Is coming in to score is both Crone and Zapata. Could not get in the glove at left, and 2 runs will come in for the Chuckers. It's now 8-2. Saints still lead it by 6. So an RBI double there from Thompson. Allows 2 runs to come in and allows runners to get to second and third. So in threatening position one with only 1 out. So now it's Lang. First pitch to her is up high for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. The RBI double. Thompson, she had already had 31 RBIs this season for a Treasure Valley team that went 15-31, 9-15 in conference play. 2 balls and no strikes as that one dribbled to short. Brockmiller will throw home, and they will try to catch her in a tag, and they do. So, but allowing Langston to get her safely on the fielder's choice. But they do get the lead runner. And staying at second. That'll bring up Maya Luna as that one hits the pitcher but gets back, and that one is flipped to first in time as after it hit Urban at the mound, she was able to quickly reset herself and flip to first. Gracie Hodgson in time at the bottom of the 4th inning. The Mount Hood Saints with an 8-2 lead against Treasure Valley here in game number 5 of this NWAC Championship Softball Tournament.
NWAC would like to thank Chemeketa, Clackamas, and Mount Hood Community Colleges for hosting the NWAC Softball Championship Tournament. They supply many of the event staff that work hard to help make this event a success. Thank you.
We took a look here as it'll be Serena Hattori leading things off here for the Saints, followed by Madison Walker, Jasmine Lara, Izzy Brockmiller, Reese Wiseman, Gracie Hodgson. Just a couple of batters to name as Saints scored in the second, courtesy of Mia Zachary, Serena Hattori, Jasmine Lara, Izzy Brockmiller, Reese Wiseman, Gracie Hodgson, Lily Bravo, and Lizzie Brockmiller. The only batter in the lineup that did not score was Madison Walker. As it is Serena Hattori here in the bottom half of the fourth, as time is going to be called by our plate umpire real quick here. But now we will resume. And Serena Hattori will be the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the fourth, as the first pitch to her is high and inside for ball one. Is 1 for 2, was walked in the first, singled in the second. She faces a 1-0, and she will take that one up high for ball two. So 2 balls and no strikes here against Hattori. The pitch popped foul, and it's 2-1. So Serena Hattori this season, 76 hits. She takes a called strike on the outside, and that'll even the count at 2 apiece. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff batter, Serena Hattori, and that one swing and a miss, 1 away here in the bottom of the fourth. And what is only the second strikeout for the Treasure Valley defense. That brings back Madison Walker. Walker is dribbled foul, and similar to her last at-bat, starts with an 0-1. So Walker, 0-1, with 1 away here. The bottom of the fourth. The pitch is dribbled to third, and that one's going to be played, but it's going to be called foul by the home plate umpire, and it's quickly 0-2. Walker was halfway to first. Back. Oh, Madison Walker, swing and a foul as that one gets out of play. The count remains 0-2. And once again, she will step back into the battery. 0-2 coming to Walker. Up high, ball one. She stepped out again and now steps back in. Madison Walker with a 1-2. The pitch coming to the plate is through the glove of second into right field for a base hit. Madison Walker with a 1-out single. And another run aboard for the Mount Hood Saints offense as Madison Walker makes it to first safely. She had been 0 for 2 so far out and flew out to center, but her first base hit as that brings up Jasmine Lara. Wide stands for Lara. She takes ball one down low. And the count 1-0. Take a lead from first as the pitch to Lara is in there for a strike, evening the count at 1. One ball, one strike here on Jasmine Lara. The pitch in there for another called strike, and it's 1-2, and Walker will stay at. Looking at second. The 1-2 here on Jasmine Lara. The pitch dribbled right back to the glove. Can they turn two here? The throw to fire. It's the third double play for the Treasure Valley defense, and that will end the inning. So after a single by Madison Walker to get the Saints a base runner here in the fourth, a double play as bounces that one right back to the pitching circle, to the glove of the pitcher, number 17, and that is Kaylee Milan. And she throws it to second, and second throw, and they turn two and end the inning. So after four, we head to the fifth. It's the Mount Hood Saints 8, the Treasure Valley Chuckers 2, here on Field 2 at Delta Park in Game 5 of this NWAC Championship softball tournament. We take a look for Treasure Valley, and leading things off will be the bottom of the order and number 9, and that is Emma Myers.
Now pitching for
The mound for the Mount Hood Saints
number 10. Dunham.
is pitching now on the mound for the Mount Hood Saints. I believe I heard the PA announcer correctly. It's Kate Dunham wearing number 10 as the leadoff bat is Emma Myers. As the first pitch to her is outside and low, gets away from the glove of Brockmiller, but leadoff batter, so no damage. Nobody will advance because nobody's on base. 1-0 the count. Top of the order. We'll have to take a moment to tie her cleat. A little bit of delay there on the mound, but getting back there and now ready for the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, 1-1. A nice catch there from Brockmiller after I believe it might have been fouled just a little bit. Sounded like the ball got a little bit of the bat, but it went right in the glove of Izzy Brockmiller. 1-1 is swung on and popped up, and it'll be caught there at third. And making the play there at third is Jasmine Lara.
Now batting
So one away here,
number 1.
and
Rice.
Alexa Rice, number 1, the leadoff batter, will come back to the plate. 0 for 2 thus far. Struck out in the first, grounded out to second in the third. Third appearance here in the fifth. And the first pitch to her is just a bit high for ball 1. One ball and no strikes. The pitch up high, 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. The pitch, swing and a miss, 2-1. Stepped out of the batter's box, now stepping back in. Alexa Rice this season, Treasure Valley Chuckers. Fouls that one back, and evens at 2. So you take a look. She's got 28 hits, 27 RBIs. She's been at bat 83 times this season. If you count the 3 in this game. Ball 3 was side. So the count full. against Alexa Rice. The pitch, swing, and a foul out of play. And it's 3-2 once more. Two strikes here against Rice as she pops that one up into right field, and coming on and making the field out number 2 is Reese Wiseman. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up number 6, Ashlyn Crone. As the Chuckers trying to stay alive offensively here in the 5th. They have 7 outs to work with. Side for ball 1. Unless, of course, the Mount Hood Saints absolutely start to blow things open here and get a couple of more runs. 1-0 is up high, 2 balls and no strikes. Two balls, no strikes. The pitch in there for a called strike, and it's 2-1. Getting right over the pitcher or the home plate. It's a good-looking pitch there from Dunham. 2-1. Swing and a foul back, and it's 2-2. And Brockmiller leaped. She tried to make the catch off the netting. It wouldn't have counted for an out, but would have been an impressive catch, but it hit the tip of her glove and bounced away. So now 2. Ashlyn Crone, 2 outs here in the 5th. The pitch is dribbled right to Madison Walker, who quickly throws it. Walker makes the quick play over to first. That will retire the side. Gets to the bottom half of the 5th inning with the Mount Hood Saints still lead it 8-2. They gave up 2 in the 4th. They did not give up any in that 5th. They come to the plate for the 5th time here in Game 5.
T-shirts, sweatshirts, and more. Everything is fully customizable as well. Get your tournament gear today.
Brockmiller will lead things off in the bottom half of. Again, the Saints just need a couple of more runs here to win it here in the 5th. I don't exactly remember what the official Northwest Athletic Conference rule is, if it's you lead by 8 after 5 or if it's 10. I know the Mount Hood Saints won a couple of their tournament games last year in 5 innings by doing that. So if they get 2 more here in the 5th, then that will put to this first game for both these teams, and will send Mount Hood on in the winner's bracket, where they will get the winner of the 5-12 matchup, and that is the Wenatchee Valley Knights against the Chemeketa Storm. And a quick score update over there. It's tied 1-1 in the top of the 5th. So got a good game going. Field number 4. Again, field number 4 you can watch on the NWAC Sports mainstream. As part of all these tournaments, we of course will have all the Mount Hood games for you on the radio, as that one is lifted into center field and into the glove there for out number 1. Is trying to get that was Brockmiller. Reached the wall for a home run and 1 away, as that will bring up Reese Wiseman. 13-0 the score now between the number 1 overall seed Lower Columbia Red Devils. They lead the Clark Penguins, shutting them out. First pitch to Wiseman. Taken upstairs, ball 1. And then the other game that's going on right now, Clackamas and Edmonds. That is the 8-9 matchup. Clackamas leads that one by a score of 8-4, and that was in the bottom of the 4th. So Edmonds trying to get a couple more runs and get that game even. Ball 2 was taken low, so the count here against Wiseman will go to Dixon is on deck. The 2-0 pitch is lifted in center, and that one's going to drop on one hop for a base hit. Rounding first, and no further play there, as a 1-out single there from Reese Wiseman will put the Saints base runner aboard and potentially bring the winning run in Gracie Hodgson to the batter's box.
Wiseman brings up number 19, Gracie Hodgson.
So Gracie Hodgson, who so far today is 1 for 1, singled in the second as she takes ball one outside. The count 1-0. Represented one of those 8 runs that came in the second. 1-0 to dribble to short. Can they turn another double play? And they will not get to time, but they do get the lead runner in Wiseman at second. So Gracie Hodgson will go to first on the fielder's choice.
Bravo.
And that will be the second out here in the bottom of the 5th. Lily Bravo takes a called strike on the inside, but very close. You count 1-0. She pops that one up into foul territory, and that one gets out of play. And the count 0-2. Treasure Valley certainly looking to put off the scoreboard in this inning, as they have in the last couple of innings. The only runs scored were in the second. The 0-2 is into right field and out of the glove. It cannot be made. Rounding third is Hodgson. She's going to come in to score. Going to third is Bravo. 9-2. RBI triple for Lily Bravo. I'm not sure you could classify that as an error. It was a tough play to make in right field, as where it went in the glove, as now it is Lizzie Brockmiller, the bottom of for the Mount Hood Saints. She represents the last batter, as the first pitch to her is taken just a bit high for ball. So Lily Bravo is 6 away. And what I believe is she is the winning run. The pitch to Brockmiller is dribbled to third. The throw to first is there, so the run will not. As we head to the 6th. And the Mount Hood Saints get one more here in the 5th, and at the end of 5, we have a 9-2 lead for the Mount Hood Saints as we head to the 6th here on Field 2 at Delta Park. So if we take a look here, Columbia Basin lost their game earlier today, so they'll be playing on field number 3 at 4 o'clock, and they will be taking on the Bellevue Bulldogs. Another console, we have the Yakima Valley Yaks. They're going to be taking on Oregon. Again, this game and the 5-12 matchup will correspond to each other, and the losers will play each other. Just a matter of who wins this game is the other game and who loses that one. And right now, the Mount Hood Saints lead this game, so they will be looking to advance. And right now, it's still tied over in the other game, 1-1 between Wenatchee Valley and Chemeketa. Of course, the Chemeketa Storm, a division foe for the Mount Hood Saints, played them this season and beat them. Mount Hood Saints team that finished. Look here, as that one popped into center field, and catching that one is Mia Zachary. A clutch catch from Mia Zachary. A good play there, as the Mount Hood Saints, as I mentioned earlier, 10. Third in the South, only behind Southwest. Finished 21-9 in conference play. And only 2 states are represented here in the tournament. 11 teams from the state of Washington, 5 from the state of Oregon. As the first pitch was taken for a strike. And the count 0 King. So Zapata flew out. It's the helmet of Brockmiller, but she gets up quickly. No concussion there for her. So the count is 0-2. And for the 5 Oregon teams that are represented in this tournament, of course, it's Mount Hood, Southwest Oregon, but you also have Clackamas, Chemeketa, and Treasure Valley. So both these teams from the state of Oregon. That one popped into left field. That one's going to drop for a base hit. And a 1-out single. McKean will put a on for the Treasure Valley offense, as that'll bring up Beck. And Cambry Beck, 0 for 2 thus far today. Grounded out to short in the second. Popped out to first as that one dribbled through the glove. It'll be another base hit. And Treasure Valley starting to turn on the offense here in the 6th, trying not to drop their first game here in the tournament. They still trail by. Got runners on first and second with only 1 out. So got over the glove of Jasmine Laura at third, as that will bring up Thompson. And Kalea Thompson is 1 for 2. She struck out in the second and doubled in the 4th. Third appearance here in the 6th. The first pitch to her is in there for a called strike. You see triple plays in softball, especially since the distance between the bases is much shorter than baseball, but potentially in play for a triple play. Is that one taken upstairs and away, and the count even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out here in the top of the. Dunham will fire, and that one dribbled to Walker. She makes the play, throws to second. Can they turn 2? Yes, they can. The Mount Hood Saints get their first double play of the afternoon after 3 from the Treasure Valley defense. The Mount Hood Saints turn 2 and get out of a jam, leaving 2 on, or actually 1, as going to third was McKean. She would have been the only runner, but that will be the end of the top of the 6th. We head to the bottom of the 6th. The Mount Hood Saints with a 9-2 advantage against the Chuckers of Treasure Valley here at Delta Park.
NFCA stands for the National Bass Fish Coaches Association. For those awards,
so leading off here in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Mount Hood Saints will be the top of the lineup with Mia Zachary, Serena Hattori, Madison Walker, Izzy Bruckmiller, and Reese Wiseman. And then if we need more batters after that, we will inform you of who they are. But the Mount Hood Saints with a 9-2 advantage, 8 of which came in the 2nd. They scored 1 additional one last inning in the 5th, as they look to take their opening game here, and the reigning champions look to start the and move on to play later this evening against the winner of Chemeketa against Wenatchee Valley. Again, that game is still tied at 1 over on field number 4. So Mia Zachary, ball 1 outside. The lead here in the inning and the leadoff batter in the lineup. 1-0 pitch coming to Zachary as she takes that one low and away. Ball 2. No strikes. Mia Zachary, the pitch is dribbled to short, and that play cannot be made. And she will get to first safely on the fielding error there by shortstop. As not being able to field that cleanly was number 7, clean, Serena Hattori, number 7 for the Mount Hood Saints. She is 1 for 3 today with a walk in the first. She doubled in the second and struck out in the 4th. She fouls 1 away, and the count 0-1. Balls and 1 strike. The pitch shows bunt, pulls away, and it's 2-0. Or 1-1. It was 0-1. Now it's 1-1. One ball and 1 strike here against Hattori. Madison Walker is on deck. The pitch 2. The official NWAC softball. 1 ball, 2 strikes against Hattori. She getting a little bit more adjustments there. 1-2 to Hattori. The runner on first as that one popped into left center and making the catch there. No further play, and Mia Zachary will stay on first. Out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. So another fly out there to Langston, as now it is Madison Walker. As Madison Walker so far today for 3, singled in the 4th, but struck out in the 1st and flew out. She swings and misses there, and the count 0-1. So the count 0-1 here on Walker. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Walker pops that one up, and it's 0-2. As that one gets out of play. No balls and 2 strikes here on Madison Walker. And that one is outside, ball 1. Just missing the outside corner. And now Walker faces a 1-2. And that one is up high, evening the count at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes against Walker. The pitch into center field and into the glove there of Langston again for out number 2. Second time. So that'll bring up Jasmine Lara. Even if the Saints do not get a couple of runs here to end the game here in the 6th, they will be 3 outs away in the top of the 7th from winning this 5th game of the tournament, but opening game for both. First pitch to Lara is dribbled to shortstop, and the throw to second gets out of the glove, and everybody is safe. So Mia Zachary will go to second, and Jasmine Lara will go to first on the mishandle there by a shortstop. Not being able to make it was McKean as she on the dirt. As now it is Izzy Brockmiller, and it looks like we might get a pinch runner on first or Jasmine Lara. As head coach Brittany Hendrickson is coming out. No, it's going to be on second base. Mia Zachary is going to be getting a pinch runner.
Pinch running for the Saints, number 30, Rachel Jones.
And Rachel Jones will be the pinch runner for Mia Zachary on second. So Izzy Brockmiller with 2 outs. She's 0 for 2, walked in the second, flew out to center in the. As now we have a meeting on the mound for the Chucker. And head coach Brittany Hendrickson is also meeting with a couple of her batters down the third base line. Made her way over, as so did Wiseman. And the pinch runner, Jones as well. Our umpire, home plate umpire, will sweep off the plate as we get set to resume action here on field number 2. Mount Hood Saints trying to in the 6th, up by 7. They've got runners on first and in a 9-2 lead. Trying to move on as the 4th seed, and they would be the home team in their next game as well. Of who they play, as the first pitch there on Bruckmiller is inside, called strike, and it's 0-1. Mount Hood would be the higher seed, regardless of if it's 12 or 5 in the next matchup, because they are the 4. In center field, that one's going to bring a run home. And coming in to score is the runner Jones. And that'll make it a 10-2 game, and that is it. The Mount Hood, the RBI single from Izzy Brock will send the Saints on in the NWAC tournament in the winners bracket. They win game number 5, win game number 1 of their road back to the champion, defeating the Treasure Valley Chuckers by a final of 10-2 here on Field 2. As we look here, as the Mount Hood Saints win this game 10-2 from Izzy Brockmiller, ends it, score pinch runner Rachel Jones all the way from second as she rounded third, came in to score, and sends the Mount Hood Saints on to round 2, where they will play the winner of the 5-12 matchup between Wenatchee Valley and Chemeketa, as we will get you a score update as well from that one. But just some final numbers here for the Saints. 8 runs again coming in the second, scored 1 more in the 5th, and they score 1 more here in the 6th. For the Treasure Valley Chuckers, they scored 2 in the 4th, and that was it. That is the 10-2 final that we have here in game number 5 and game 1 for both of these. So scheduled here at 6 on field number 5 will be the Mount Hood Saints against the winner of Chemeketa against Wenatchee Valley. As we take a look here, as that one is in the 5th, or in the top of the 6th, I should say. Wenatchee 5-1 lead now. So they trailed 1-0 early when they came back in the bottom of the 2nd, but since then they have scored 5 unanswered. They have a 5-1 lead over on field number 4. Again, some finals earlier today. Lower Columbia defeats Clark by a final of 13-0. So the number 1 seed is going to be moving on. And in the top of the 6th, the number 9 seed Clackamas leads the number 8 seed Edmonton score of 8-4. And again, earlier today, we had the number 3 seed go down. The Southwest Oregon Lakers, they fell to Centralia 5-3. Everett, the 6th seed, defeated the 11th seed Yakima Valley by a final of 5-1. And Walla Walla, the 7th seed, defeated the number 10 seed Bellevue by a final of 10-5. And one of the bigger upsets, number 15, the Olympic Rangers. They get a win over the number 2 seed Columbia Basin final of 4-3. So just updating the bracket here. The other 3 or the 2 games are still in progress. The only other afternoon game so far that has wrapped up was that Lower Columbia versus Clark matchup. 13-0 the final. The Red Devils are off to round 2 in the winners bracket as well. So the Mount Hood Saints, they move on. Again, they get the winner of and Chemeketa. It's a 5-1 Knights lead. So as of now, it's likely their matchup is going to be against the Knights, but we shall see. They played the Knights last year in the tournament, defeating them as well, so should be a fun rematch. If it is Chemeketa and they come back and defeat the Knights, the Storm will also be a great game as well. It's a division foe, so we are in for a good second game. So join. We have more Mount Hood softball from the NWAC Championship tournament here at Delta Park. Thanks for joining us for game 1. Again, the final score, Mount Hood 10, Treasure Valley 2.